Yeah. What's up, bitches? It's the Koopa. Sounds good. Sounds good. So wow. Let's get a little less weird for the rest of this stuff here. I feel like I made I feel like I've made enough sounds for probably this entire playlist now. But yeah, welcome back to leveling up, to capping it. I'm busting caps all up in the ass. And yeah, with that crazy intro, Dragon Quest time. Yeah, man. The next couple level cap quests follow a different story. So I like to imagine these quests. The one, what is this? 112 to 125. I want to say area, is more like a quest to upgrade your confidence and expression, which is really nice, really fun. They all consist of you going back to this lovely area in the middle of the Winter Islands, to talk to this funny guy because of course we know all the Star Warriors, so they're gonna let us in and explain to us a little bit about what we are doing here. And let me explain to you what we're talking about today. It's going to be some wonderful, crazy things, as you can clearly read in the title, which I have no idea is right now. I'm just kind of thinking it up off the spot. I'd say today we're going to talk about breaking the cap of I don't know. I suppose your will. The cap of your will. The cap of your ability to take a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of trash and tosh, on your psyche. Because throughout life, I feel like if anything, I have a lot of defense, I have a lot of guts, resilience. You know what I'm saying? I can pretty much take any bad, toxic thing you throw at me. But yeah, we have story spoilers that we always do before we get into the funny, random, circular, dystopian, philosophical rants. Um, as you can tell, our little poet guy here, along with his assistants, are in charge of essentially these trials, um, of the five voices. They're all around Winna Islands, and what are the five? He's gonna say them right now: call, speak, sing, wail, and grunt. Okay, so these are essentially your methods of expression and communication, art, if you will, through the mouth, through the Ooh, that sounded a little sexual. Through the speech, goddammit. And so the first one we're gonna learn is the art of song, and essentially to do all of these, gameplay wise, we're just kind of fighting a boss. But I imagine, this is like you getting over a sort of trial of fire, being able to communicate to a certain monster type of sorts or whatever. And just to convey the message that, hey man, I'm here and I'm ready to go to the next level. I'm ready to go to the next one. So this first time we're fighting quite an interesting boss. They don't have too crazy of moves or anything. I believe there's some pretty powerful magic attacks that they do, and they try to do status elements. But I have a very good class setup right now that is very very beefy, very resistant-y. Right, and they do summon mobs, a couple of mobs if you don't kill them fast enough. But yeah, we have all master classes now, and because of that, most even though we're not super high level, most of this game is going to be very very easy. And I might switch back to some non-master classes every now and then because of that. But this masterclass party, you will realize it is kind of unstoppable at this point. Now that the hermit class is out, and I have a really good hermit set. You really just need the lordly robe. It's not that complicated, but yeah, it's a good life. It's a good life. I feel like this playthrough it's gonna go a lot smoother, a lot faster. It's all thanks to Esper. She's back. Hermit's here. The world is in a good place. If we could just stay here in this moment right now, I'd be completely fine with it. I'd be completely fine with it. I'd be completely okay with it. But yeah, we're gonna keep loving the moment. We're gonna keep doing our thing. This boss is gonna be at the end of this dungeon. Like I said, Julie area underground mine. I don't know why, personally, but we tend to go back to this dungeon quite a bit for the story and a lot of very important side quests. Strangely enough, vocation quest, level up quest, multiple times in this. Like, why do they have such a hard on for this dungeon? I don't know. Um, I believe we're even going back here for version 7. But anyways, wow. What was I even? Yeah, so resilience, right? Defense. Breaking the will cap willers. Breaking your willers off, you motherfucker. Um, yeah, I'd say essentially there's always different heights that we can go to, but I think the main thing that people really don't, you know, understand fully about having this much resilience is it's just like anything. It's about losing a lot. It's about, losing whatever it is, your temper, your pride, whatever. It's all about a lot of failure. So, the people who really seem to not have that much resilience. You just kind of have to be hurt by a lot of people. And thus, I'd say not having a lot of resilience is not necessarily a bad trait. I don't think everybody needs to be beaten down into submission 8 million times in order to, learn basic respect from people. But essentially, that's what the world's giving us now since everything is really fucking easy to do. That's why I really like this game. It's very conveniently congruent to how America especially has metagamed the general idea of a career and American dream. You see, everything in this game, just like in America, all the enemies, the bosses, the bullshit, it's very easy. It's very easy. Extremely easy. So easy, in fact. That you become blinded to the fact that no one around you wants anything to do with you. And then you're alone and you're struggling and nothing really makes sense. You know what I mean? So the thing is, if you don't willingly go out and make this game hard, ergo, play the whole thing by yourself, do a couple challenge runs, make a community around it, of yourself, either in the Discord. We got plenty of worldwide groups. There's plenty of guilds that people could make that I, maybe possibly be a part of, but whatever. I engage, I feel like, as much as I want to, and that's all you should do, guys. That's all you should do. But anyways, that's the thing. You have to make this game and make the world, aka United States, Japan, whatever. You have to make it an actual, engaging experience for you. Because let's be real, guys. This game not only does it look like a child's game, but it is very, very childlike in the way that very, like I said, not too hard to even grasp the mechanics of it. I think that maybe if I played this back in the day before, I even knew a lick of the moon's language, I probably could have wrapped my head around the mechanics because it's generally the same thing that not only Dragon Quest but most RPGs have been doing for decades. It's just a little bit nuanced. There's just a little bit of slight modernities to it, and of course they have to expand it and make the progression slow but linear horizontal, and very, very expansive. Of course, like anything, you have to scale it to stupidly high amounts so that nobody stops putting your fucking game cock in their mouth. um Jesus. But essentially the main thing about the will and keeping it's just like building defense in any game. You just have to rack up more equipment and more tools, and you get the equipment from tools not just from losing, but from like losing with grace, falling with style. So whenever you lose, you analyze the situation, you get more wisdom, and no, it's not fun. A lot of people think that learning and gaining like actual common sense and wisdom skills is like, oh my gosh, he's so cool, what a fun life he's had to have. That is not true, man. It's a lot of betrayal. It's a lot of mistakes. It's a lot of giving more and receiving less. It's a lot of getting played, getting tricked. It's a lot of, loving things that maybe didn't love you as much as you ever thought they did, and you feel stupid. But it's good that you feel stupid because, that way we can learn. So essentially, I'm not mad at the fact that I've chosen wisdom, and none of you should be, whether you have chosen wisdom or, maybe involuntary, I don't know, involuntary stupidity. Sometimes people willingly choose to just be distracted by their friends, their mom, their morals, whatever for life, and sometimes it actually actively works out. And maybe those people actually had a plan for them in their wonderful world of benefits that they made the other person make for them in the first place. But usually that contingency plan for the other person is like, oh wow, it worked out somehow, I totally planned for that. And it's not like, something that they actively work towards creating for them, and thus anything that you're really working super hard to build, just make sure it's really for you and make sure you love doing it. That's all I'm saying, because a lot of times I had many wonderful things that I thought I wanted to do for me, but in reality it's just because it was very easy for me to do it. And other people really wanted it, and what did I want? Well, to make other people happy, of course. So, of course I'll try building this for you. I'm having fun, kinda, why not? When in reality, I have fun. It's a choice. It's a choice. Because, the mind is a crazy thing. For me, I really don't have to think about a lot of the things I am actively doing in the moment. My inner dialogue is going way too fast. Way too fast. So, oftentimes, to speed things up, to move with a purpose, I will be doing something, ergo work, grinding, exercise, whatever, while thinking about the next thing, while thinking about the past, the future, the present, the round, blah, blah, blah. And of course, this is not something that you can actively just turn off when it's something that you do so often and so easily and so graciously, right? But of course, everybody would say, oftentimes, like, hey man, you gotta be in the moment. You can't just be thinking about the... But it's in my nature, right? So instead of actively going against this, I gotta use it to my greatest benefit, I have to take that weird ability to just constantly think about things and have those moments, whether it be in work or in people or in whatever, of analyzation to truly realize, man, like, a lot of the times, a lot of the songs and expressions and things we do aren't necessary. And when analyzing, how much you've given and how much you've received, oftentimes we realize our will has been stretched far too thin, paper thin even, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, these bosses will be very easy because of this. Oh my goodness, so easy. We're gonna do one more, because I'm not done ranting on this strange subject. But we'll go back and turn in this quest. But yeah, you really do realize, man. It's just the planned obsolescence of things. Most people don't have that contingency plan for you in the back. So when you give all this and you have the active mind to think about your next move while you're in it, many people will discount that as a open betrayal. They'll always have this plausible deniability for whatever they do. But let it be known, how dare this motherfucker think of anything above me, which of course is just automatically what I do. And once again, guys, of course you can view this as something horrible. Oh my god, how dare he do this to me? Oh my goodness. You think about it like that. You can. It's your choice. You can think about the mouse on the screen right there next to Lot if you want to. I prefer you not. And don't worry, it'll go away soon. Please, go away soon. Oh my goodness. But the thing about the fact of the matter is, what I'm saying, you're never really going to change your inner nature. So, with these people, with these situations, with these times, you really don't need to worry about changing their will and their nature. You just have to understand what were the signs, what were the areas of interest, what were the songs that I portrayed to give them that energy. And this is for anyone, guys. A guy doesn't just kind of wake up and say, I'm gonna strangle a woman today. It's time to rape. Nobody. And if they do, then, I guess you're just fucked. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that is very often not the case. It's usually a path that leads them there. Especially since, the whole statistic that most abuse and, sexual violence happens with someone you actually know. Come on, man. There has to be some level of just learning. I'm not saying like, oh no, how was I supposed to know I was a victim? I'm just saying learning. And this learning bullshit that we all tuned into has made us all crazy basket cases, not able to, accept anything or any boundaries from anyone, which is hilarious to think because Jesus, I feel like the world was a crazy open basket case before the Me Too movement. We were being accepting of everything, and to a certain level, we still really are. But damn, it's just it's sad and detrimental how to see how the fall has happened here, and now we're all just crazy basket cases. But no worries, guys. Richest we've ever been, huh? Richest we've ever been. Okay, so moving on to the second phase of this. We have Lana here, as well as a wonderful leaflet, and I believe that is Asmongold there. And now this boss, a little bit harder, a little bit different, and I believe this time the element of expression is the the dance of death. Okay, wait, no, it's called. Never mind. So call, yeah, I feel like this is a good little segment for the next area of here. Call as in give someone a call, reach out to a voice. Because that's really what's gonna build your will, guys. And this sucks for me too, because me too, Jesus Christ. I was just talking about that movement, Jesus Christ. This sucks for me too, because yeah, I have the really big problem making male friends, and I didn't know why at first. I didn't really understand it. One of the main reasons, though, is because it inherently involves way more competition than I am comfortable with. Competition doesn't really brood anything positive for me nowadays. I didn't grow up with it in a positive light. I didn't really have a brother who was a positive, way to express his levels of competition. It's just not something I have a good relationship with in general. It's one of the main reasons why I didn't used to go to gyms, and then I kind of got over that, and I said, let me go to a gym, and now I have a completely different reason, because holy shit, I can't stand girls in shorts. I can't do it. I'm not able to handle myself. I don't know why an exposed thigh makes a man crave meat, but it does, and it's not a place I need to be in an athletic state. We can go into plethora of reasons why I don't want to date anyone now, but I never really have. And that's the funny thing, man. It's the possessive nature of this aspect of dating that really fucking kills me. Because I've never been someone with a huge amount of assets, that being time or money. So when I decide to give it and spend it, I obviously become enthralled and in love with whatever it is in front of me. Because like I said, man, I don't just spend time in the present. And a lot of people can sense that I am also in my mind and, actively looking at all the random bullshit you have, around you. I don't like to spend it all on my phone and just, get absorbed in bot world. I've always hated that aspect of smartphones when they came out, and I used to be a huge headphones guy. I actually I walk outside with the speaker now. I walk outside just raw dogging it now. I really can't stand being in like just the strict phone universe, and I always have around other people, not only because I find looking at them interesting, just where their eyes go, and how I see a lot of people are crazily socially inept. Something that I'm very, very, happy that I've had the ability to learn how to communicate to at least a troglodyte basic level. At least scope out vibes and feelings and expressions. In high school, definitely in college. That's where it's cemented. It was like, oh yeah, we're good. Also, the first time I got high in college was crazy. Good times. But yeah, man, you have to reach out. You have to call. You have to send a message. If you're a guy, talk to guys. If you're a girl, actually, probably find some guy friends, because I know how weird and seedy, women can be, and I know how a huge red flag, that is for some dudes. Like, you can't be friends with a girl. I'm like, guys, let's be real. Let's be completely 100% honest with ourselves. You are never going to build a lasting and healthy female relationship if you don't want to be friends with them first. I'm just being honest, okay? So, perhaps we should just all be okay and be in solace with the fact that all of your guy friends are eventually looking for the date, okay? That's it. And maybe you want to explicitly say it that no, or maybe you want to like set them up with someone, or maybe you want to just be like, maybe it could happen eventually. You know what I'm saying? Going out, right? Yeah. Just leave it out there, you know? But you can't get triggered by shit like this, guys. You just have to live your life and naturally, elope and connect with those you want to. But for me, it's like associating with anyone right now just seems so damn dangerous. Because I feel like people can detect that I am on a crash course to crash out one. And everybody just kind of wants to push me there. Nobody, especially, in the black community, nobody really wants to just, help you and push you forward. They're just like, when is he crashing out? I want to see him crash out. Is he crashing out now? Where's the crash out? Hey, Crashy, buddy. Hey, Crasher. Hey, Crashy. Do crash. Crash. Crashy, crash. Crash. He's crashing. I'm not even joking, man. I see it everywhere. Like, people don't want to actually throw love at you, especially when you're not receptive to it. And I, just openly show, going out and anywhere, I am just not in love reception mode. I am in grind mode, time mode, because I just see the general air that is about everything. And, it's not just on the dating apps. I go to, maybe libraries, parks, and whatnot. And I suppose this isn't the best place to meet people, but there are literally no people out there except for old people who do the weird, wave and start to try to tell you about their fucking lawn mowing business. And then there's all the workout people that just fly right the fuck past you. And then there's like one or two just strange individuals that just look for reasons to see, is this the race, is this the time, is this the crash out? I'm like, goodness gracious, man. You can see it in their souls and their bones. And of course, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But this is why you need to actually reach out. And I have a huge problem taking steps back in life. Honestly, man, that's what I'm saying. It's the whole super silence of friendship, you know what I mean? Like, I have no reason, no joy, no solace in a feckless call, that's just not really there to give insight or guidance or whatever. And I'm realizing more and more that this, curated version of life that we decide to show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it really is just a cry out for that kind of connection that really doesn't lead to much. You know what I'm saying? It's still just distractions. But if we don't hold these together, then eventually in the end, when you do get everything, when it does all come into fruition and everything is super awesome and perfect, you're not gonna have anyone to share it with. Which, to me, honestly and truthfully, sounds pretty fucking fantastic. Like, I'm thinking, man, I don't know if a lot of the several celebrities that I'm truly idolizing and meeting or really loving on their music, if they truly and wholeheartedly have the gigantic social artist circle that they seem to in their features list, or their entire social discography, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, and I feel like a lot of creatives would really just rather be left alone. I've never been starved for connection on a mutual level. Like I said, guys, it's been a constant drive for attention, and not from me to other people. Strangely enough, usually when I try very, very hard to get the attention of someone, they tend to move the goalpost. And then I notice them shorten the goalpost for someone else. And it's all just for reactions, for manipulation, for power plays. And I just don't feel like that kind of possession is necessary. It truly never is for me. But oftentimes, that absolute aggressive possession is what drives a lot of the manipulation and the tactics that are used in the game, man. But it is what it is. Power and security are what some are looking for in relationships. We'll say one side, and then the other side generally are looking for that, romance, feeling, touch, whatever the fuck the lovey shit that you guys want is. And in general, both sides are completely unnecessary for life. You know what I fucking need? I need food, water, And the last thing, the most important thing, the chemical X. Respect, man. Respect. That is the 100 number one motherfucking thing that just makes any relationship work for me. You know, and any relationship work for anyone. Any guy, that should be your number one. It shouldn't be that the bitch has gigantic hungamongus. We don't care about that. I care if, my intellectualism is respected on a base level. Like, you're like, oh, is it a situation where it's like, I am right because I am woman? Or is it a situation where it's like, we talk about things and, you respect my opinion on shit and I like, oh, look at your opinion. You have thoughts as well. Oh shit, there's things juggling in that mind. And obviously, with me, along with the respect, has to come the honesty. Because how are you gonna lie to someone? You shouldn't be doing that to yourself. First of all, like base off, if you're someone who lies to yourself, I probably don't even like talking to you. And sadly, that's a lot of fucking people that are living with me right now. But we're not gonna get into that. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a choice of how to live their life. And it's very, very, very easy to get distracted to a certain point where then it's just like, oh wait, I was lying to myself, I didn't even notice. I didn't even realize that I was really doing that. And I'm not fucking here to be everyone's guide and teacher and daughter, but as a small example of what the fuck I'm talking about, man, it's just a golden rule kind of thing, If you're someone who comes into the room every day with an angry attitude and a sad face and grumpy, and the only thing you say to people are insults, then don't be surprised when all you get is from people, don't fucking say shit to you, or, don't do things to you, or don't have fun with you anymore, or don't smile at you anymore, because you get what you receive. I am tired of naturally giving the same energy to people who give me bullshit, who make me alchemize it to something crazy and courageous and beautiful like I always fucking do. It's like, why don't I do this to my own shit and make it even better instead of turning doo-doo water to red velvet cake? You know what? We don't need that doo-doo water to red velvet cake pipeline. We need the red velvet cake to the fucking supreme wedding cake chocolate fountain. We need that guideline. The world needs that. I feel like we don't need a doodle cake. We don't need another doodle cake. Okay? So the thing is, guys, you gotta be so fucking comfortable. And I always have been so fucking comfortable. But you gotta be even more comfortable than I have been comfortable with truly staying invested in your own energy enough to where you're okay eventually finding someone who matches it, or maybe eventually even not, And for the people that do match your energy and you try to connect with, maybe they don't want to connect with you, maybe that's fucking okay, because we have abundance principle. If I can say words. We have abundance principle, that brings them back to you if they're supposed to come back to you. But I truly have this issue in me where the call of the other, especially if I've already eloped and been around you, I feel like people know that I really don't want to hear from you unless you have something for me. And thus I wouldn't give that same kind of energy. So it's just like, I don't want to say it's number small, but I do feel like number small, even though how big my number seems in my head. And it just takes a lot of slow, consistent energy. It's one of the main reasons why I tell no one about my artistic endeavors of content creation or meek or slay or anything like that. I probably won't even tell you guys about other channels that I start on this one. Because in general, I believe the only way it's really gonna be satisfying is if it comes from the motherfucking ground up. From your booty wipe to the fucking sky, baby. That's the only way. And I'm not telling you to wipe your ass and throw your tissues out. But I am telling you, man, we're done with this boss. Answer the call, though. I assure you, it's not gonna be all you, but answer the call. When any of your friends pick up, you know what I'm saying? Just answer the call. I assure you, you needed them as much as they needed you, if they were truly your friend. But yeah, that's the thing, man. I'm finding out that a lot of times when you start things like this, you'll figure out who your real friends are real fucking quick. It's a scary life. It's a scary life. But, never be afraid to be courageous, man. Well, I'd say, do be afraid to be courageous. Be very fucking afraid to be courageous, actually. But do it anyways. Do it anyways, you scared little goober. I don't care how scared you are. I give zero fucks for your fear, okay? We got work to do, bitch. You know, I will admit, I'll be the first person to admit that, I do not want to be here. It's too scary, it's too weird, it's too confusing, and it's too easy to make mistakes. But we don't got a choice no more. We have sealed in our spot. You know what I'm saying? We've sucked up too much oxygen, and we gotta pay that shit back. And God's coming in with full repetition. You know what I'm saying? So build your confidence, build your spirit to a higher degree, and take one step every day. May the Lord fulfill me, and so that I may rejoice. And do His work, whatever is required for today. You know what I'm saying? And that is fucking it. That is fucking no more and no less, motherfucker. Because honestly, you'll grind yourself into a pulp if you think we have to go crazy into the fucking stupid grind line my time. Fuck that. Fuck all of that. This is what this level cap shit is for, man. Sometimes your experience is I can't get no more. I got stopped for a little bit. My back hurts, and then that's when you stop. But now we've learned the call. Until next quest, we'll do a little bit more. But relax, man. The shit will come all over your face. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you've all had a good time, a good little lesson here. If you learned anything, I certainly didn't. I don't know. Maybe a couple years from now, I'll look back at this and be like, hey, maybe I did learn something. But I just felt like I threw up my back a little bit. I got a little angry. My bladder's full now too, so I guess I worked on that. I don't know. Scotty, I don't know, man. Comment if you learned something. If you made it to this part of the video, go ahead and drop a comment for the two spirits that we unlocked with the heaven poet gear. We did the song and the call. All right, so give me a good old song call, baby. Give me a good old song call in the comments. We had Alana here. We had there were other VTubers. Oh my goodness, what was happening? Frost here. We had Esper here. We got Leaflet as well, and then we got our greatest VTuber, the Roach King. Thank you all for being around for this one. This has been Level Capped. Subscribe. And I will see you next time.